Hey Pam, how you doing? Hey Jim, how's it going? Hey Amanda, hello. Hey Donna. Hey Lisa. Hey QC, how are you? All right. Hey Sue, John. Hey Nikki. Hey Red Raider, Heather, Pam. What's going on? Hey LA, how you doing? Hey Brian. Hey Brian. Hey, somebody emailed me about fake accounts. I mean, obviously there are a lot of regular fake accounts going, but you'll look because people are creating. Hey Dustin, fake avatars. What they do that by using some invisible text, so you don't see the other part of it that isn't displayed. There's been like 6 that I know of. They're going around impersonating other people. Hey Rotten Soul. Hey Larry. Hang on 1 second. See. Hey, how you doing, girl? So I noticed a few of them myself. Hey Twinkie, how you doing? Hey Joanne. So I just delete them when I see them, but you know, if you didn't know any better, you'd think that's the person posting it. It's not. So if you see something just off the chart strange from someone that you didn't think would post something like that, probably a fake account. Hey Stephanie. I think what I'm going to go do too, I was thinking about this last night and today. I think I got some stuff that was sent to the different people and it's going to get doled out. But I think from now on, if anybody wants to send anything, I'm just going to have them do it in gift cards to restaurants that are near where these people live. I mean, I just kind of like to start the new year. Hey, Clint, with not that gift cards can't get sold, but you know, when I go down there, it's not like I'm going to run into everybody for sure. And I already had things from other trips that I made where I was able to give to them what they wanted. And I just don't want to have that stuff laying around. So I think there are restaurants on Michigan Avenue, and people are going to have to go over to Verner Highway on 4th Street, but there aren't that many people down there anyway. So I'm just going to get away from like physical gifts. I mean, it's kind of people that want to send coats and stuff, but some of the people are starting to get like, I know they're going to get more clothes than they need. And Lisa, it's Tom Reed, TOMREED 1956 at gmail.com. And then some people aren't getting any at all. So I just think that's going to be an easier way to do. And I'd rather that they just send gift cards to like restaurants, because this way I will you know, have it in an envelope, and if I see them, fine, they get the gift card, and if I don't see them, that's fine too. But then I'm not carrying cash around, you know. Now, if you look at some of my favorite channels that are constantly bad mouthing me, they've had some videos removed, and it's going to get a lot worse. I was actually contacted by YouTube, and if you notice, the videos are already starting to come down. So I got an idea that their channels are going to be canceled pretty soon. which is long overdue. Basically, I use the argument on YouTube that they're using the platform to profess hate, and basically they're hate channels based on untrue allegations. And with that in mind, that the channel should be canceled, and they've been put on notice, and therefore there'll be consequences if they're continuing to, make up these false allegations. Well, that's the only way they get views, Erica. They don't have any channel content that anybody pays any attention to. There's too stupid to operate a video camera or take a photograph. So the only thing they can do is try and latch onto someone that does, because they just can't create anything. It's got to be somebody else's. They just have low IQs. They're capped out very early. I'm supposed to go to Ann Arbor for Thanksgiving, but I don't think I'm going to go. Hey, Keisha, how you doing? Yeah, that's what I say, Mike. I think that it's been long overdue, and I find it interesting of all the protections in terms of service that are out there for channels, and that they allow people to do that, and they're constantly reported, and nothing's being done. So something's finally starting to be done. I know some of the videos came down on 2 of these channels yesterday. So I expect a lot more in the next week. I wouldn't doubt that those channels are gone the next couple days. But it's crazy the amount of hoops that you have to jump through to get them to do anything about it. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. And with regard to the interviews, I'm still going to do those, but it's just become like first of all, I addressed one other time that I try and make, you have to have a reasonable belief that what I'm given is going to the people and it's being used for the intended purpose. And I always knew that was never going to be 100% guaranteed. Drug addicts do drugs. That's the way it is. But even though they have drug issues, and I wish them the best, and hope they get out of there, not all of them are going to get out of there. And there becomes a point where, in good conscience, there's a lot that I see in between doing interviews and the thank you videos, that in good conscience, I just don't want to accept stuff from people when I think they have a different perception of what's going on than what I do from being down there more. You know what I mean? It's one thing for you to see an interview and a thank you video. It's another thing to me being down there a week at a shot and thinking, you know what, something really isn't quite right here. So this way, I think, I've actually thought about just going back to what I originally did, and that is doing the interviews and keeping it at that, because the rest of it, hey kitty, is really complicated things. And I guess it's another subtle worry that I have. It's not a big deal yet, but it's going to be, is that some of these people want to send money through the chat, or they want to send money through PayPal. Well, I'm going to end up getting a 1099 for that, and I didn't set up a 5013C, which I don't want to do. I don't want all the footwork and responsibility. So basically, whatever you give me, I give them. But like somebody sends, let's say, $100 in PayPal, I convert it to cash, and I give it to whoever. That's all great, but it's slowly adding up to a 1099 that I'm going to get. And I don't really have any social security numbers of what I've given out to the people with regard to cash that I've converted or gifts that have been given to me. See what I mean? So, I was trying to keep it simple. And when you keep it simple, there's a risk involved with regard to, hey, what about this 10 grand you got in 2019? What'd you do with it? It's like, well, I gave it out, here's my YouTube videos. You can look. It's like, no, where is the social security number of the person you gave it out to? Well, I can't give them one. So you see what I mean? It's that, it's where if I get a gift card to a restaurant, I would recommend a gift card as opposed to like prepaid visas and that kind of thing. And that's not to say that gift cards can't get sold. At least, they still have to eat, and it's going to take away from, any uncomfortableness I have with regard to the money ended up being used for the things that you wanted it to be. I've touched on this before, and it's just, that's what I think I'm going to do. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of an issue yet. And I don't want to, use one reason to give me an escape for another. It's just a culmination of things. I don't want to say because of tax issues, I no longer want to give things to these women. That's not really true. But it's the culmination of spending the money for something different than what they intended it was going to be, having the tax issues, not running into them when I'm down there and having the stuff like I do now. I have stuff for cricket that I've had for a month, and tax consequences. And it kind of, there's no way to accurately gauge if you give someone $50 what it's being spent for. Well, there's one way to guarantee that I don't need to worry about that, and you don't need to get screwed, and that is not give them $50. So I think it's going to be I think it'll just be better. I mean, I kind of go back to kind of where I was, and the only difference will be was I can run into somebody and say, hey, you know what, here's a $20 gift card to Checkers or McDonald's or Church's Chicken. At least you can get something to eat when you want to. And that's not to say that those cards can't get sold. There's always going to be that possibility. I mean, all you can do is give somebody and hope for the best. And I think I've been thinking about this for a long time. And I think what put the cherry on the top, to be honest with you, is here's Marguerite as an example. She was, somebody paid for a couple days. She was discharged. The social worker gave her a list of shelters she could go to. Well, Marguerite stayed one day in a hotel and then she left. She's back at the bando. So here you got someone that basically is ignoring doctor's orders. I feel sorry for Marguerite. I wish her the best. But there becomes a point to where even though Marguerite has a big following and I want the best for her, how long do you keep doing this, particularly when you see an example of someone that's been told to do certain things with regard to a new pacemaker being put in and returning to a place where things are only going to get worse? You know what I mean? I mean, I feel sick talking about this like this. I mean, it really sucks. I mean, I'd like to say she's doing great. Things are, progressing. She's taken a new tact in life. But it's just, I'm getting too many examples of where that's not happening. Now, Ebony called me last night, and I talked to her about 50 minutes. And I wish the best for Ebony. I really do. I do anything I could to help her. And that's basically what the conversation was about, is, trying to help her get out of there. I hope it's happening, but as you know, it's happened with Ebony before. Thankfully, it happened to Dan. Jesse's doing a lot better. Ashley left, but it's my understanding she's using again. So it's just such an uphill battle. I mean, sooner or later, there's going to come a point to where I don't want to keep doing the same old thing. And I don't, in good conscience, want to keep accepting stuff from people where we're not really getting much of a result at all. I mean, I've watched them buy things with the money that you give them with regard to food, and I know they paid their cell phones, and there's an example where Becky paid her back rent. But by and large, I just don't feel comfortable doing what's been done. I just don't want to bullshit you on that. And I've told them all along from the very beginning, do you want to do an interview or not? If you do, fine. If you don't, I understand that too. It's fine. You don't have to do one. I mean, the truth of the matter is when I'm down there, I have people tracking me down to do videos. They want to do an interview. And then when I get back, you'll see, well, I'm getting rich. They didn't really want to do it. I'm making, so that's all total bullshit. If you rode around with me when I was down there, and if you listen to some of the videos, interviews, you'll hear them say, it's voluntary. They want to do the video. They think I'm doing a good thing. Now, maybe it's all one big giant lie. I'm just telling you, when I'm down there, I'm not tricking anybody into doing something that they don't seem to want to do. And I've given them plenty of money before when they were in a jam unrelated to an interview. And there's a certain amount of people that I run into while I'm down there that I pay because I don't really want to interview them and I don't want to hurt their feelings because they just got done seeing me interview 2 other people. So, it's not like some cakewalk when I'm down there. So I'm going to take, whatever I have that people have sent, and I'm going to make sure that they get it. I'm going to do a video like I always do, but it's getting way too complicated, not the results I expected. I don't feel good about people that don't really see the full picture, sending things. And like I said, tax consequences, I mean, what I could do, well, I said this from the very beginning, what I wish I could do, and that was kind of the thinking with the P.O. box, which didn't work out. And that is that if you guys see somebody and you like them, you want to do something nice for them, you can deal with them directly. I mean, they don't happen to have an address. You could even, what you could do actually, you could put whatever you wanted to in an envelope. And I don't open the envelopes. I've opened a couple accidentally for when they didn't have a name on them to see, who was getting what. And when I see them, I'll give it to them. But if I don't see them, then I'm not going to give it to them. And it just may sit around until you see it doled out. What sucks about that is, take an example of a package for cricket, and I have stuff for Wendy as well. If you had a good heart and you wanted to see someone get something like this, you send it to me, I get it, and here 6 weeks later, they still don't have it. Well, you don't really know me well enough to, know that I'm not dogging it or I don't like him or something like that. So, I'm just trying to get away from having stuff accumulate. And, I think people bought some clothes for these women, which is cool, but it's just, I just don't trust the way it's working, I mean, I don't regret anything that I did. Anyway. And the $50,000 question is, I'll take for an example, take Marguerite as an example. If Marguerite said, hey, look, I got a pacemaker. I'm 61 years old. I've had a drug habit for 40 years. I'm not quitting. When you send me money, I'm going to do it the hell with it what I want to. And if you send clothes, maybe I'm going to wear them, maybe I'm not. And that's just the way it's going to be. So you've been warned before you send me anything. Say, what if she said that on an interview? How would that change your behavior? How would you act? Would you act differently? Would you still send Marguerite $40? Would you still want to buy Marguerite some firewood? I mean, what would you do? How would you change? I mean, how would you feel if she told you that on camera? What would you do? Yeah, I think it changes the dynamic. Now, welcome to my world. So now you know how I feel, Kitty. I'm not saying that it's that apparent all the time, and I know that all the money never went to food. I mean, I'm not that stupid or naive. But now you can kind of understand how, if I think there are a bunch of benevolent, nice viewers out there willing to donate and try and help someone get better, and that's not really happening with the expectations they had, it kind of kills my enthusiasm to want to keep facilitating that. Before, all I used to be was like the go-between between them and you. Well, when you get down to the brass tacks, it's not garnering the positivity that I hoped it would. It's just, and for all the reasons I mentioned, I just think I'd like to head a different direction.
You've got mail.
Different direction with it. Yeah, I think so too, Kate, but you never really know how much. So minus having a crystal ball, when somebody gives me $20 to give to someone, I mean, how am I ever going to know what went to what? I'm really not. Like I said, I don't think that it all went to hamburgers and hot dogs, but that's the issue. And that's always going to be the issue. And it's not the money so much, except if people aren't getting the money, then they're not getting the cash to buy whatever, a hamburger or drugs from me. So that's the issue that I'm having. And I can see this PayPal thing, and God knows what it is if I get a 1099 on this damn during the chat. Yeah, and to be honest with you, on the firewood, I was at her house. That was a lot of firewood that this guy uh, donated, and I was there the day after the first night that they would have been able to burn firewood, and there was not that much of it left. Now, could you have burned that much if you stayed up all night? Probably. Was some of it stolen? I don't know. But if you give someone a week's supply of what would be an evening outside with firewood, I don't think that you would feel good about it if the next day you knew that 90% of it was gone. You see what I mean? This is just another cog in the wheel of, the means not meeting the end. So, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Kitty, and I mean, there's a lot of, everybody in their life has had a deal where, you put together the pieces of what you think may have happened, whether it's a friend or an employer or whoever. And over the years, you've shot yourself in the foot by jumping the gun, coming to a conclusion. That's another part of this equation, is that I'm never going to 100% know what's what. So, I mean, maybe this was the outdoor fire of Marguerite's life, that she never had that much fun in one night, and finally she had enough firewood to keep her warm until the sun came up. I'd like to think of some story like that. But when I couple everything together with regard to, considering her health before she does things, the neighborhood, and the drug activity, it's not like I came over to your house, Kitty, and gave you 3 weeks worth of firewood, and the next day, 90% of it was gone. It'd be a much different scenario. But when you couple everything down there, it makes me wonder, it makes me think that probably continuing to do it this way isn't a very good idea. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of firewood, but I don't know, the burn rate or how long it's supposed to last you. But when I looked at wood she'd had before for a night and looked at the wood that was gone after one night of burning, it it seemed like excessive to me. Oh, no kidding, Sloopy. That's interesting. That's interesting. And a lot of times, like, when I'm down there and I'm like videotaping someone giving a thank you for whatever it is somebody sent, if you look at the one video with Maddie and Gerald, people complained that it was very rude of Maddie that one lady had written her a long letter, and once she saw there wasn't any money in that envelope, she didn't even read the letter. So I didn't go back and look at it. I don't know why somebody'd say that if it wasn't true, but a lady had written me an email and she really had her feelings hurt because she had been in the same position Maddie was at one time. But it's just little subtle hints of, you know what, maybe this isn't such a great idea sometimes. I'm getting more negative than I am positive. So that's the problem. Hey Tracy Lombardo, hey, I'm glad you came on here. Have you been communicating with people on some of these channels that are bad mouthing my efforts and my videos and such? Are you conversing with this chosen victim support channel? Are you on there at all? Tracy Lombardo, I'm talking to you. Hey Jim. Yeah, that's just not cool. So that's that's what I've been thinking about lately. Tracy Lombardo, I asked you if you were communicating with someone on this chosen one victim channel. Are you doing that or not? Are you over there communicating with someone on that chat? Yes or no? No, but I'm asking you. No, but are you talking about my channel on that channel? I'm not talking about whether it pops up or not. I want to know if you're posting comments over there. No, but why would you think they would accept a comment of support for me on that channel? I mean, it's pretty obvious what their mantra is there, and I'm wondering why you would want to be a part of that dialogue. All right, Dustin, have a good day. Yeah, Tracy, you know what this means, don't you? Tracy, you know what this means? Yeah, so that happens more than you think it would. You know, Patricia, it doesn't seem to do much, which is so crazy to me. I know they did, they haven't taken videos down now, YouTube has. If you guys see any, if you see any of my content on any of these other channels, make sure you let me know. Yeah, it's all right, Cinderella. Kind of comes with the territory, you know. She's over there on that other victims channel. Yeah, Kate, but it's almost impossible to prove damages. Most of those suits go nowhere. Hey, John. If you look at, if you, I encourage people to understand what fair use means. Look up fair use, and it'll explain it to you. It's kind of, it seems odd, but when you read it, you'll understand it. I mean, just because you use somebody's name, it's using the content's the problem. Stealing the copyright. Yeah, their channels did get strikes yesterday. Yep. No, it's all bullshit. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Yeah, I don't think she's going to be around much longer either. Although on hers, it's more of an opinion than it is stealing content. You know, it's different. Well, you know, Michael, if that's the way it is with Maddie, then you know what? She's not going to get any more cards. She can blame herself. Strikes for stealing content. Yeah, anywhere you see they're using my image, channel art, video, anything like that. Yeah, thanks, Emily. Yeah, Sloopy, I kind of, it's not a perfect scenario. It's not like you're going to do that and not get taken advantage of a little bit or a lot. Like I said, it's hard to gauge any of this, how much good's being done, how much bad's being done, how happy people are, that kind of thing. Yeah, she can read, Amy. Yeah. Now, Daisy's good. I'm going to take her for a walk in a little bit. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they're making up. First of all, not that I have to defend myself about these kooks, but it's all a lie. I never pulled a gun on any wife. They can't show you a police report from any place. I've never had a criminal charge ever. Yeah, I'm still a licensed private detective. I do have a Bachelor of Science degree. All this stuff is easily verified. But I don't need to answer to these screwballs. Any of these allegations, ask them for a copy of a police report. They can't give you one. Oh, thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think they're going to get taken down. I hope so anyway. It's really not that much of a problem. Nobody would even know about them if they weren't like stealing my content. So, not that my content's that great, except it's better than anything they could ever come up with on their own. Yeah, they're just constant troublemakers, unsuccessful in life. They'll get any kind of attention any way they can. I think it is too, Ally. I do. I think so. So I'll go down there next week sometime probably. Yeah, it's just a certain type of personality. I mean, there's all sorts of people like this, except the internet has given them another forum. You know, but their run's about come to an end. I can tell you that. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty obvious they got some mental problems. Hey, Kate, how you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna do some more interviews. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna do any more of those lives though. I don't think I'm gonna do any more of those. Not when I'm on the road anyway. Part of the reason is they go on for a long time and people just keep asking me, have you seen this person, that person? I don't blame them. They don't want to scroll through a 4 hour live chat. So one way to eliminate that is to quit doing them. What do you mean, where is Maddie been? What are you talking about? Yeah, I live in Michigan. Why are you asking that stupid question, where's Maddie been? How the hell am I supposed to know? Where's your old neighbor that used to live next to you 20 years ago? Where's he been? Yeah, what a fucking stupid question. I get so sick of these people. Yeah, she's bad news. Block her then. It's one dumbass question after another. You know, that's part of that's one of those stupid channels. That's their big deal. You know, that's the one that they constantly use. Like, it works up until I interview Maddie again, and then they can't ask it for a couple more days. Like, Maddie's missing. That's in some other rumor that they got started out there that was a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly right, Panda. That's exactly what it is. They're absolutely nuts. Yeah, ask any questions you have, Colin. That's fine. Yeah, they make up stories. They do. They drove the damn police department crazy down there, filing false police reports, making up bullshit, contacting them. They finally told them to quit calling anymore. Marguerite went back to the bando, living where she did before she went to the hospital. Yeah, you can, but I know all about slander and defamation suits. I've sued for it before. It's a nightmare. Most people don't understand it. They don't. They 99% of the time go nowhere. You have to prove damages. You just can't file them because you're pissed off. And just because, I mean, if I started talking bad about you, Kate, and you sued me, what are your damages? What does it cost you that you can prove financially? Nothing. It's not like a punitive award like it is for a personal injury accident. It's just bullshit that gets started, and they hardly ever go anywhere. No, I haven't seen her. No, she got out. She just went back to the house yesterday. She's back where she was before. Yeah, it's because she just got out. She just went back there last night. Yeah, I mean, people, I mean, it's a myth, really. You know, if I was a famous person and you went and said that same shit, and I had 5 companies drop me for TV commercials, and that's why they said they dropped me because they believed these comments that were made on YouTube. Now you got something. But minus that and just being a normal person without being able to show a financial loss, it's a waste of time. Oh, thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. I mean, believe me, something should be done. They shouldn't even have a channel. That's what they shouldn't have. I guarantee if I'd have done the same thing to them, I'd have been gone long ago. How they continue to stay up there is a mystery to me. Hey, Kathleen, how you doing? Yeah, it's like there's a lot to it. You know, there would be nothing left in the court system if everybody filed a lawsuit because they were pissed off. And when you go through the threshold of the criteria you need, it's pretty limited. And most people don't have it if they're a normal Joe. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm down there anyway, Kelly. That's not a problem. It's getting to be a problem because of the tax consequences and not running into them when I go down there, you know? It's exactly what it is, Holly, but nobody seems to want to do anything about it, including the company that serves the platform. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I know it. That's true. I know. And there's not a shred, a single bit of evidence for that anywhere, Kate. Nothing. Yeah, I'll do it all winter. Yeah. Well, I've been going down there for a long time, but video is probably 5 years, something like that. All right, you too, Emily. No, that's what I think, eh? Well, she's got less videos now than she had 2 days ago, I'll tell you that. Yeah, thanks, Loopy. Appreciate it. So, I mean, that's something you guys need to think about. As an example, Marguerite, I mean, how you want to handle this. If it's going back to the same exact lifestyle with zero hope of changing, I mean, you've been forewarned. Yeah, it's worse than that, really. If people, people just don't seem to be somebody that should get. I mean, in theory, somebody that should get rewarded or compensated or could use a gift is a guy like Dan or Jesse. People that have got out of there under almost impossible odds and are getting their life right on track. Once you get off the dope and you're out of that area, you still got a big, huge mountain to scale. You don't have any money. You need to buy things. You maybe need a car. You need to pay rent. As far as I'm concerned, if people are going to donate things, donate it to people like Dan and Jesse. Jesse's actually tested positive for smoking marijuana on probation, even though she has a medical marijuana card. And it cost her like a couple $100 a week to stay home with her baby wearing a tether. I mean, is Jessie really a threat to society because she tested positive smoking marijuana? I doubt it. Are they getting a couple $100 out of her a week so she can be with her child? They are. Does that seem rational? I don't think so. So, and you got a guy like Dan, he's getting back on his feet, trying to get working again. I mean, these people got out of there. Maybe the right thing to do is buy shoes and shirts and cards and cash and every other thing under the sun for the people that have got out, that have really done what they said they were going to do, not the people that are bullshitting us. You don't need to worry about the money going to drugs with Jesse or Dan. They can't afford it in more ways than one. Not the dollar amount, but getting their life in order. Oh, yeah, Adrian, I believe it. Yep. People don't realize how much cocaine and crack does to your cardiovascular system, particularly straight cocaine. It ages your cardiovascular system big time. You know what? It does sound logical, Wanda, but you watch. There are going to be much less people that want to support someone that's got out and struggling than someone that's still down there that may never leave. It's the human psyche. It's impossible to figure out. I can't really explain it adequately why people are like that. I'm the same way. Why would I rather give $20 to Marguerite than to Dan? It doesn't make any sense. That's what I think, Kate. That's what I think. Help the people that are. I'm telling you, if you could just wave a wand over somebody's head and they were off, let's say heroin, and they were out of that area, and you pluck them down anywhere you want in the United States, they still have a huge obstacle to scale. They don't have any money. They don't have any work history. Those, I mean, that and obviously the addictive quality of drugs, make someone like Marguerite and Raven, it's just like scaling Mount Everest. I mean, Dan and Jesse are halfway there and they still have a huge struggle ahead of them. It's so hard to just want to say screw it and get high and whatever happens, happens, because they have all of a sudden, when you try and get out of being an addict and being down on Michigan Avenue, it takes a lot of diligence and discipline. And they don't have much of that, which is how they got where they're at. So when you're in the throes of addiction, you got a physical addiction and a mental addiction like you do with heroin, you're down in that area. Getting even is damn near impossible. Now,
a little bit above even is getting off drugs and getting out of the area. Now you got the other half of the mountain that you need to get over. And usually when they move, they don't have that much support. Even though you're a heroin addict on Michigan Avenue, you've got 8 other women that are just like you. And I'm not saying misery loves company, but they're the only friends you have. And if you take the heroin equation out of the personalities of a lot of these women, they're all super nice people, witty, intelligent, fun to be with. It's that damn heroin. So when they get jerked out of their area and they're going moving to Bozeman, Montana, and they don't know anybody, they've got everything working against them to try to get back on drugs because they're lonely. They have no friends anymore. You know? Yeah, you're right, Mark. So I'm thinking maybe the smart thing to do is when you go down there next time and somebody says, "Hey, where's my $20?" I'll say, "Well, you know what? You know who got the $20? Dan. You remember Dan? He used to be down here. And you remember Jessie? Well, yep, she got the $20 because she's not down here anymore. I mean, it's worth a try. It's worth a try." I mean, Dan's trying to do his music thing, and Jesse's trying to keep from going broke so she can be with her baby from testing positive during probation with marijuana, even though she had a marijuana card. It's just, it's a, I mean, it's such an ignorant system in some ways. She's struggling. The transmission went out in their car. Hey, I'd be a lot better progress reports. I can tell you that. You know. Well, this is just kind of like throwing things out there and looking for a plan B, but we'll have to think about this. And I hope you guys think of something as well, because I'd like nothing more than to take a notebook down there with me. It's like, "Tom, can I have $20? Or I need some boots, or I need a shoe." It's like, well, a year ago, yeah, I would have got that for you. But now here, I want to show you these pictures of Dan playing his guitar. He doesn't live here anymore. He's off heroin. And here's Jessie with her baby up north, walking on the beach with her boyfriend. And these are people that where you are now. And if you'd like to get out, we'd be more than willing to help you and support you when you did. But right now, we can't buy into this. I'm sorry. Yeah, they'll talk to me because I would still do interviews with them, but they're not going to get, I'm not handing out the gifts and the cash like I used to. Oh, okay, John. Yeah. So it's something to consider. I mean, that's just throwing something out there, you know? No, Mary, I'm nowhere near there. No. I mean, that's always a possibility. I don't have any problem with people not being friendly with me. That's up to them. So, I mean, it's something to consider, you know? That's what I think, John. I think that too. Yeah, I don't think I'd be good in a structured environment on a volunteer. It's the same problem, Panda Boo, food. It's the same problem. No, you're right, Donnie. That's it. It doesn't override the court system. That's exactly right. I'm just saying, as an individual, there's no provision for her exact circumstance. I mean, if you got a medical marijuana card, someone decided that you deserved it based on whatever, some kind of pain. It's just conflicting to have her in that particular dilemma with that card in her possession. Jesse's not out committing any big crimes. I'm thinking about skipping that. I'll hand out food cards for fast food places, Jasmine, like around where they live. But but the dragging the food around's just gotten to be too much. I don't run into them sometimes, you know. Who are you talking about, Ellie? I would still interview them, but if they don't talk to me, they don't talk to me. I mean, I was doing fine before I ever talked to any of them. If they don't want to talk to me, that's fine. If they want to go for a plan B and do better themselves, that's fine, but I can live with that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Panda. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, it's true, David. It's just figuring out when that is, you know. Oh, congratulations, David. No, Dead Love's been off that forever. 2 years, LA. Hey, Glenn, how you doing? I believe that, Andre. Yeah, Becky's going to be one of the bigger problems with this new program. Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Yeah, I know, but even a generic gift card like a prepaid Visa, I see the same problems. Yeah, I agree with that, Janice. Yeah. Yeah, John, I do. Yep. I do have a way to contact her. Yep. I could text Jesse and you could talk to her yourself. You know, ideally, what I try and do is, any chance I can get to keeping me from being the in between, I always will. I mean, I think nothing would be better than for me to be able to match people like Jesse with people like John that wanted to help her, and they could deal amongst each other and leave me out of it. It's not my business. I've never taken anything off the top or percentage or anything like that. I'd prefer it that way. No, I'm not doing the gifts, Terry. That's over. I'm getting away, getting those things and delivering them. It's not that easy. Some people are getting 3 pairs of boots, other people are getting none. And here's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because it jogged my memory, and that is that, when I go down there on some of these second trips, I don't see the clothes that these people were given. I don't see them wearing them hardly ever. That's a problem. I think she has a PayPal of her own, John. I'm trying to keep from getting money into my PayPal because I don't have any documentation that I'm giving it out and just collecting it. Becky doesn't want to get out of there, Karen. Becky does not want to leave there. Yeah, thanks, Panda. Appreciate it. Well, that's fine with me. I mean, I'll still do interviews, but it's not going to be like it was before. Yeah, Kathleen, that's a problem down there. It just kind of goes along with it, you know. Oh, congratulations, Jody. Yep, still gonna do it, Ann. In the hospital, huh? How you doing? Yeah, I believe that, Lever. Sorry about that. I'm not stopping. It isn't the drug dealers. It's the people walking the streets that buy it off them. No, and I'm not saying they can't use them, Donnie. I'm just going to slowly curtail this in the future. Anybody that has anything, believe me, I'll make sure that they get it. I just don't want to keep doing it after that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Dennis, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I am going to do that dinner. Yep.
Yeah, they do, Deb. They sell them all day long for $5. Yeah, that's good of you, Lieber. I know if things get sold. Not always, Mark. You don't know if all of it's getting sold or none of it's getting sold. You don't have one example of firsthand knowledge down there. You haven't been there. You haven't talked to these people. How can you make such a statement like that? You don't know that. I already know that that's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not saying it never happens, but for you to say that they're selling anything that I give them is absolutely false. Yeah, I don't think that, Pan. I don't think that.
I mean, I know that drugs get bought with some of that stuff. I don't even really know that. I'm assuming that based on what I hear. I've never seen it happen firsthand. If I gave somebody $20 and they walked across the street and bought heroin with them, I'd never give them another $20.
You guys, I don't think these people should be getting deleted for these comments. I mean, they're entitled to make a comment about this. If Mark thinks they're selling it, that's an opinion, but I don't think he should be banned, blocked because of it, and I don't think Panda should either. That's what Panda thinks happened. That's just an opinion. It's not a reason to be blocked. I mean, it's one thing to have an opinion. Just because I don't agree with it, I don't think they should be blocked or banned. You know, if they're getting on here and they're vulgar or something like that, that's one thing. But just because someone says something that you don't agree with, I don't think their comments should be erased. Yeah, I believe that, Sherry. But you know, just because your sister does it doesn't mean that everybody does it. I mean, it's a you know. But I don't want these people because if they think that I'm being used and taken advantage of, that's their opinion. I don't think that their comments should be deleted. The whole idea behind this moderation is to keep people from being vulgar and talking down about the women. It's not to cancel out their opinion of me. I mean, if someone comes on here and says, I think you're a big asshole, that's an opinion. I really don't think it's a reason that their comments should be deleted. No, but these comments on this Panda Boo, all he said was, I believe this last trip, things you found out made you sick, glad for the change. I don't think those comments should be deleted. All right, Steve, take care. No, take it easy. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying these comments that are getting deleted.
I mean, I get it 100%, you know, if they're vulgar or something like that, but
Yeah, it's true, Cinderella. It kind of runs the gamut. That's true. Yeah, I think so too. I agree, Superwoman. It does. Well, great, Susan. Go ahead, Brad. I'm going to sign off in about 5 minutes, you guys. So I don't want to cut anybody off. Yeah. All right, Dave. I'm going to take Daisy for a walk. Yeah, that's it, Ellie. You too, Cinderella. Yeah, you're right, Donnie. Canada. That's a Jeopardy question, actually. I've seen that come up probably 5 times in the last 20 years, and half the people get it wrong. Thanks, Bino. What about my dog? Isn't eating what? No, it's not the same without Steve Perry. I agree. No, my dog eats all the time. I'll be on later tonight, MGJ. You too. Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it. All right, you have a good day. Get a hold of me on that, Donnie, because I'll let you know when I'm going down there. I signed on, Sam. Pay attention. You too, Shell. Bye, Kelly. See you, Jody. You too, Kitty. You guys have a good day. You want to go walkie bye-byes, huh? I bet you do want to go walkie bye-byes, don't you? You want to go pee-pee, walkie bye-byes? Huh? You want to go walkie bye-byes? Huh? I bet you do want to go for a nice walkie bye-byes, don't you? Huh? You want to go walkie bye-byes, huh? Oh, wow. You do want to go walkie bye-byes, huh? You do want to go walkie bye-byes. You do want to go walkie bye-byes, huh? You do want to go walkie bye-byes. Huh? You do want to go walkie bye-byes? Huh? You do want to go walking by my side. I know. You do want to go walking by my side. You do? Huh? You do, huh? All right, you guys have a good day.
All right, let's go bye-bye.